So we've done a number of things to help them navigate that. We've created master classes. So we've got 3 hour experiences that we do, 4 hour experiences that we do, often with both generations in the room together. Sometimes even with wealth advisors in the room. But it's the beginning of going through a phase of taking a look at where you are in each of those stages and what you need to do to take that step to the next stage. And at some point, we help them identify their own desire of what it is they'd like to accomplish in the world.
So, Jamie, after you work with someone and they realize they kind of have their own place in the world, does that mean that if they come through the program and the masterminds and the coaching, that then they have to break away from their family?
No, the reality is what we found was that most of the people who we studied wanted, when they were done, to have a role in the family. They wanted to find a place within their family. And I think that was true for Rishi too. I just think he needed a break. He needed a couple years away to sort of sort out because he had been injured and he needed to heal a little bit and before he could find his way back. But we had an example of another woman who grew up in a very caring family. Um, Everybody in her family had PhDs in science, and early on, she knew that was not her path, and so she set out on her own way. It took her 3 different career attempts, and by the time she figured out who she was, she had a law degree, a master's degree, and had worked in the fashion industry for a period of time until she found her way working with other families. And at that point, she felt at home. And now she's the one in the family who helps consult the generation younger than her to be able to sort out what do they want to do? How do they want to find a role within the world and within the family?
Well, Jamie, is it much like most things? If we don't, if we can get to the condition early, the trade off or the turnaround, the transformation happens faster and easier. As an example, in your example with Rishi, he was broken. There was a broken piece there. You call it his breaking moment. But what can your research and knowledge and teachings do for people who can prevent that from ever happening? Is there a possibility of that
So,
process?
so I've started doing some research on founders. And I think there were a couple pieces to it because I think it's also what the now generation does to help prepare the next generation to be ready and how much room they allow and how willing they are to take a step back and to exit. Because they need to exit in order for there to be room for the next generation. But there also has to be encouragement. And that encouragement can make a big difference. So in the story of the woman with the family of scientists, her parents were very encouraging. So when she figured out what she wanted to do, it really opened the door. And within a year or two afterwards, she was also married and had a kid and had a the story was very complete for her because she found out something for herself and something that made her feel even closer to the rest of the family.